Great. It's time to talk about plugins. Plugins are what you're going to use to extend your website. If we go back to the dashboard inside WordPress, we've taken a look at a lot of the functionality within WordPress already. We've looked at posts, we've looked at media, we've looked at adding new pages. We even played a little bit with some items under the appearance. We selected a theme. We looked at the widgets you could drag into the sidebar. We looked at the menus, and we looked at some of the settings, etc. So you've seen a lot of the functionality of WordPress already. Now, no doubt your website is going to want to have certain functionality that you offer to your end users. And a great example of that might be a Contact Us form, where one of the options on your website is a Contact Us menu. And that would be a great example of extending your functionality. Now, for example, let's go to there. Let's add a Contact Us page. And what would we add here? We'd want a form of some sort over here, some way of contacting us. But there's no option here to create a Contact Us form. Let me just go ahead and publish that. And of course, now if you remember from our previous lecture on menus, we should go ahead and add that Contact Us. I'm going to go ahead and put it under the About. So it'll look like that, and click Save. So over here we have, let's refresh. Under About now I have a Contact Us, and it goes to that way. But there's no form there for a user to fill out, and there's no functionality within WordPress to give you that contact form. So what do? And that's where plugins come into play. You go to your plugins. Now plugins, think of them as extensions to WordPress. You're literally plugging in a new piece of functionality. And there's a couple of things already in your WordPress install, and now you can add new plugins. So plugins are a very convenient way of just finding an additional piece of functionality that you want. Now, for example, let's go to Add New. And here we can see, just like when we browse themes, we can see, plugins there that you can select, featured, popular, favorites, and then a search. Let's just browse a couple of the popular ones so you can see the kind of plugins you get. This one, Akismet, allows you to detect comment spam. One thing you're going to find when you got your site out there is that there are bots that are looking for WordPress sites that allow comments, and they're going to spam you with comments because they think that it's going to give a backlink to their site, and even though Google offers no value, they're still going to try and spam your site. And this plugin is going to check comments to see if they are spam or not. A very convenient plugin. Let's take a look at a few others. This WordPress SEO by Yoast is also a very powerful plugin. It's going to walk you through your website and make sure your pages are SEO optimized. And we have a section on SEO in this course, so we will be looking at that. Let's see, Google Sitemaps. This is also an SEO concept, but if you need to generate a sitemap automatically, for example, this plugin will do that. So as you can see, it's just many plugins. Discuss. You've probably seen on some websites where they've got that discussion forum at the bottom of pages. So if you want to add that to your WordPress page, look, there's a discuss comment system. A backup plugin. MailChimp. If you're using, for example, MailChimp to do your email management, here's a plugin for that for WordPress. An events calendar. If you want to add an event calendar to your WordPress installation, there it is. So I'm hoping this just gives you an idea of the wealth of plugins. Look at this, I've got 901 pages here of plugins that I can select, that's going to change the functionality of my WordPress or offer additional functionality to my end users. For example, here's a capture plugin. Maybe you find your forms are getting a lot of spam and you want to add a capture. Sure enough, there's a capture plugin. And with all of these, you have the option of just clicking install right from here, and you'll be able to install it. So when you're looking for a plugin, what's often handy or convenient is to Google WordPress plugin and what you're looking for, such as best WordPress contact form plugin and look at a few articles and get a sense of which ones are good, because you can easily get lost in these 901 pages of plugins that are out here. Anything you can think of is pretty much in here. Let's just go to another page. Adding digital downloads. If you want to sell digital downloads, maybe you're selling a PDF book, for example, here's one plugin that you could look at. Another events manager, event calendar, adding Google Maps. So, basically you can see there's just an, unbelievable number of plugins here that you can pretty much do anything you would like to do. Now, one of the things you do need to look at whenever you look at a plugin is click the more details option of the plugin you're interested in. It'll tell you a little bit more about it, a more detailed description. And then some important things you want to look at is which WordPress version it needs and up to which version it's compatible. So just make sure that your version of WordPress is compatible with that plugin. And you can see your version of WordPress in the dashboard. I'll show you in a minute, but you don't want to install a plugin that isn't compatible with your version, because it could cause problems. Here's some reviews, and you can see generally what people think of it. So it's always good to look at the reviews as well. And then to look at the commercial model, and this one is a donate. So if you like it, you may donate to the author. And look at FAQ, screenshots, how you install it, etc. So it gives you some information as to how you can use this plugin. But just check, many of them are actually commercial as well, where you have to pay to use it. And many times it's worth it. I've had fantastic plugins that I've used and happily paid for because they do the job that I need, and they're typically fairly inexpensive as well. And if you're building your entire business on this, it's well worth the expenditure. So what I'd like you to do is just browse through the list of plugins, find it where I'm at, look at either popular or favorites, and just search and see what you can find and what interests you. And what we will do is we'll be adding a contact form to our WordPress site to finish that page that we started.